Hey there everyone, my name is Brendan and welcome back to the Crypto Analyst channel. And now that the Bitcoin ETFs have been approved, all eyes are starting to shift towards Ethereum. Now I think Ethereum has a massive opportunity ahead of itself, and it's going to be one of those opportunities where it's not just the Ethereum token benefiting, but pretty much the entire Ethereum ecosystem, which includes a plethora of altcoins as well. So what I want to do here in today's video is explain why I'm suddenly so bullish on Ethereum, what I'm excited about, and what all of you can kind of expect over the course of 2024, specifically when it comes to the Ethereum ecosystem, because I feel like there's a lot of stuff that's being brushed under the rug and that the average retail trader just doesn't know is happening behind the scenes. So let's go ahead and kick things off first with arguably the most popular news that most of us are aware of, but again, these Bitcoin ETFs that we have been waiting for years for have finally been approved. And with this, the US saw about $4.6 billion in trading volume in the first day of trading of these Bitcoin ETFs. Now, again, I want to kind of emphasize here, this was 4.6 billion with a B in just the first day of trading volume. And kind of begs the question, what are these Bitcoin ETFs going to see over the course of the first week, the first month, the first year? I mean, we are talking about having billions and billions, maybe tens, hundreds of billions of dollars in trading volume over the course of the next few months, even over the course of this year. And a lot of people are really, really excited about this. Now, many people like to compare Bitcoin as the digital gold. And so there's lots of cross comparisons between Bitcoin and gold. And so I think it's only fair that if we want to understand how Bitcoin might react to an ETF, we can actually look at what happened to gold when gold got an ETF. And coincidentally enough, there's plenty of charts that are kind of, highlighting this. But essentially, when the gold ETF was introduced in March of 2003, there was a brief consolidation period. Price was kind of just hanging out for a bit, gradually rising. And then it wasn't for a few months after the ETF that gold's price really started to take off. Now, from this point, you can see that from 2003 all the way up to I think it was 2010, 2011, gold was on pretty much a perma bull run. You can see that there are these dips and pivots, which are to be expected. Nothing can go only up. But gold went on this massive bull run, like an 8-year bull run from 2003 up to 2011, and price just skyrocketed about 478%. So if we're going back and we're looking at the price of Bitcoin and Ethereum, for example, I think a lot of us can look at this and say, hey, in the short term, things are probably going to figure itself out. We're going to see the inflows and outflows kind of figure itself out as well. But overall, a lot of people are expecting to see a similar result where Bitcoin goes up substantially over the course of the next, 1, 2, 5, heck, even 10 years or so. People are kind of seeing this as a largely bullish thing for Bitcoin. Now, I know a lot of you are asking, Brendan, I thought you said you are bullish about Ethereum, and I am. I'm suddenly really bullish about Ethereum. And again, that's what I want to make the bulk of this video on. But I want to highlight here that we're not maxis. It's not like it has to be just Ethereum or just Bitcoin. But I do think Ethereum is kind of pivoting to this really unique position. We're starting to see a lot of articles come out being like, hey, should you buy Ethereum while it's still down? And we're seeing the word Ethereum used a lot more. It's starting to kind of come back to the verbiage. It's starting to come back to a lot of these news sources that, hey, Ethereum is still here and it's actually on the brink of doing something really big. So what's happening on the Ethereum chart? Well, not only is its price breaking out to new highs, actually holding relatively well compared to Bitcoin. Even today, Bitcoin is down about 4.5%. Meanwhile, Ethereum's up about 1%. I think kind of the big telling factor here is that Bitcoin dominance is going off a cliff for the second time. And this could be the beginning of a little bit of an alt season. Maybe even not even a little bit of an alt season. This could be the beginning of a big alt season. Now, if we go and we look at ETH BTC, this has been something that we've referenced in the past because ETH BTC has been fairly depressed for about a year now. So if we go all the way back to where Ethereum compared to Bitcoin was at the beginning of 2023, you can see that it was in this deep downtrend where it was kind of continually seeing the 200-day moving average as a consistent resistance level. Now, this was up until today. Ethereum is now above the 200-day moving average, which means that if this closes and it's actively trading above here, with the exception of these few piercing candles, This will have been the first time that we see ETH BTC trading over the 200-day moving average in just about a year's time. Also, if we zoom out on the Ethereum Bitcoin chart, or Ethereum compared to Bitcoin chart, this was the same point that ETH BTC pivoted in June of 2022, right before it went on this massive rally to the upside in comparison to Bitcoin. And again, this is the same area that we are now seeing Bitcoin bounce at as well. So this is a historical point, and this is also one that I think a lot of people need to start paying attention to, because as I mentioned earlier, it's not just Ethereum benefiting from this. I mean, you go and you look at things like ENS, for example. ENS is one that I've been watching very closely in this range because the ENS chart has gone borderline parabolic. I mean, since January 3rd, which was about a week ago, ENS is up about 200%. Then you go and you look at a lot of the other Ethereum-based applications, things like Rocket Pool, where it managed to see a just gigantic rise off the 200-day moving average. It was 33% in the last 5 days. Lido, same story. In the last maybe month or so, oops, having a hard time measuring, Lido's up about 86%. You see the same thing on Optimism, on Arbitrum, on Maker. A lot of these Ethereum applications are getting a lot of love, a lot of attention, and as a result, their prices are seeing a lot of upside potential. Now, what else is happening here? Well, we also have BlackRock's Larry Fink. If you're not familiar with who he is the CEO of BlackRock, which is the largest asset manager in the world. They have over $10 trillion in assets under management. And again, the CEO of BlackRock, Larry Fink, came out and said, I see value in having an Ethereum ETF. These are just stepping stones towards tokenization, and I really do believe that this is where we are going to be. Now, again, why is this important? Well, if we go back to the gold example, if he sees value in an Ethereum ETF and everyone sees value in a Bitcoin ETF, and we look at what happened to gold after its ETF, then suddenly there is this opportunity where both Ethereum and Bitcoin and pretty much the whole crypto markets have this opportunity to drastically move upwards in the coming years if it sees any kind of the same result as the gold ETF did. Now, why do I say the whole crypto market beyond just Bitcoin and Ethereum? Because I think it's pretty safe to say that if Bitcoin and Ethereum make a 500% move upwards, that altcoins are going to do pretty well, kind of following in their footsteps. I think it's going to be a pretty hard scenario to make that if Bitcoin moves up 500%, Ethereum moves up 500%, that altcoins just aren't going to do anything. To me, that just doesn't make any sense. I see altcoins benefiting if Ethereum and Bitcoin are rallying like this. And that's, I think, one of the things that we have to kind of keep in our mind over here. So BlackRock, the world's largest asset manager, seems to be pretty excited about an Ethereum ETF, which brings me to my last point, that we are expecting this Ethereum ETF, I think, to happen around April or May. And I had an article somewhere around here kind of talking about it. But basically, people are expecting that these Ethereum ETFs are likely to come around the April or May timeframe, which really isn't all that far away from us. I mean, we're in January right now. We're about halfway through January. So that's really just a few months away. And it's possible to have an Ethereum ETF trading by the end of Q2 of 2024. And finally, the last thing that I almost forgot to mention was that Ethereum has this big upgrade coming called the Dencun upgrade. It's a pair upgrade from the Denver upgrade and the Cancun upgrade that is now being called Dencun. And it's going to help solve scalability issues on both layer 1s and layer 2s using proto-dank sharding. So there's a lot of stuff that's kind of cool and happening over here. Ethereum's starting to get a lot of attention. And all those people that were fading Ethereum are starting to, probably realizing that, hey, maybe this wasn't my best decision to fade Ethereum, because now Ethereum is outperforming things like Solana and a lot of these other competitors that were doing really well in comparison to Ethereum previously. Now, all of a sudden, Ethereum's coming back to the spotlight and it's regaining a lot of market share while a lot of these other competitors are kind of falling in terms of dominance compared to Ethereum. So that's going to round us out for today's video, everyone. I hope all of you did enjoy. And again, I hope all of you are excited for what the future of crypto holds, because there is a lot, and I mean a lot of stuff, just right around the corner from where we're at, not only in Bitcoin, not only in Ethereum, not only in the traditional markets, but just about everywhere you look. There's just a set of positive news that is right around the corner. So again, I hope all of you did enjoy this video. If you did, consider hitting that like and subscribe button, checking out the links in the description down below. We have a lot of cool stuff that's coming our way. You can also check out Altcoin Alert and Crypt Nation in the links below as well. And with that being said, thank you all for watching, and we will see you in next week's video.